right, dudes, this is the subject I'm most excited to talk about. It is closing. Kind of taking you through the pre-approach, step 1, step 2, step 3. Part of step 3 was closing. This section, we're going to really dive into closing, define what it is, and really how to master the art of closing. Because it honestly is something you're doing the entire time from the moment you knock on that first door. That's when closing starts, okay? There's what's called the ABCs of closing. It's an acronym that stands for Always Be Closing. And so when you're doing your approach, you're getting in your house, you're discovering all these pain points and hot buttons. This is all ammunition to really help you get to closing. So what is closing? It's basically a way of saying, do you want to buy my product, without actually saying, do you want to buy it? Training on closing is this is where you make your money, okay? The reason that we close is to get the customer to do one of two things. They're either going to say, yes, I want your product, sign me up, let's do it. Or they will think about it and they will bring up their next biggest objection. Now we'll do a section, in a bit on objections, but that's how you get objections, is by closing, and you want them. Don't fear them, you should welcome them, because that's where you make money. I'll run through the different questions we're going to do. We're going to do the pen close, the name close. I'll run through the different questions we're going to do. We're going to do the pen close, the name close, the Nike close. That's a fun one you came up with. The option close, the route close, the authorization close, the takeaway close, the Ben Franklin close, the blank paper close, and the negative objection close. So actually, I'm going to start out with the pen close.
Before we jump into that, there's one thing I wanted to give a specific challenge to anyone watching this video, and you touched on it, John. I would like to see every new rep, and this can really apply to anyone, I want you to close every single person you talk to. So when you're out there on the doors, even if they're not even remotely interested in buying, close them. They may say no, but at least you become more comfortable, more fluid closing.
Point.
And being comfortable when it comes to closing is the key to closing more sales.
You made me think of something too. Jay, when you ask a closing question, what must you do as the sales rep?
After you've asked the question?
After you ask the question.
Shut your mouth.
You shut up.
Don't say anything.
Why is that?
All you can do is kill yourself from there. All you can do is talk them out of it. If you ask, basically, in a nutshell, do you want this? Let them answer it. Sometimes it seems like there's a little bit of that silent pressure in the air. It's called the silent game. That's good. If a customer crumbles and just says, oh man, I have a hard time saying no, all right, we'll do it. That's a win for you.
There's an old saying that says the first person, after a closing question is asked, the first person to speak loses, right? And that's because you want to use that power of the pause, I call it, or that silent pressure, to really put that on the customer. And a lot of rookie reps, they freak. So super good one, dude. You got to tell them about the Nike close. I've been in this for 10 years. Today is the first day I learned about the Nike close. This is a good one.
It's an option close.
Option close is it's the psychology where you're going to give the customer one of two options. No matter how they answer the question, you win. So, example, if you're out there in the yard, you say, Mr. Customer, would you prefer to have your satellite dish, over on the right side of the house, or would you want it over here on the left side of the house?
Well, I'd like it on the left side.
All right, let me make a note of that. No matter how they answer that, they're going to do it. Mr. Customer, you want that genie in your living room where you've got the 32-inch TV, or you want it out here with the big screen?
The big screen.
Well, you want it with the big screen. I can have my tech do that. Let me just make a note of that. Option close. I like to follow up. If you said that by the big screen, not a big deal. Are you the type of guy that likes to sleep in, or do you you get up pretty early in the day?
I'll sleep in sometimes.
Sleep in. Okay. Well, I've got a slot from 10 to 2 and another one from noon to 4. Which would be best for you?
I like that. You sleep in. It's a good line. I might use that.
Yeah, you might want to use that.
It's actually, and that's a really good segue into the route close. I really like the route close because it builds urgency.
Another one that's really good for the drivers or the fighter personalities is what's called the authorization close. Like I stated earlier, when I'm dealing with those types of people, I like to kind of become the peon, that you have to have them feel in control. And so the authorization close is, hey, my job's pretty basic. I'm not allowed to actually have the tech come out unless I get authorization to do it. So I actually need your authorization as you're letting them, the customer, to authorize to have that tech come out. Drivers love that. They like to be in control. They want to be the one authorizing that happen. They don't want to be sold by us. You'll never develop a closing instinct unless you're closing too hard and closing too often. So get out there today and close, close, close.